This podcast is rated PG-13. Parents strongly cautioned. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. Mission to 15.
Bonus episode.
Bonus.
You know what I kind of want?
Bonus. What?
Just stop that. Oh God! You know what I would like?
That's Timmy.
I wonder.
doing a bonus.
Okay, great.
Yeah. He goes, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to go, guys, he said.
No, we should talk to Sean about this. It might be nice to have like a bumper music or something to where we want to like play it when we want to let people know. That
I think
they
that's
should
going
just...
too far, John. This was a joke. You're supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be happy. You know, you're just you're a downer right now. I'm just trying to have a bonus episode.
I never said I wasn't going to be a downer. I said I was feeling miserable.
That's true.
And I just,
to be fair, you never you started into this being like, I'm not going to be a downer.
So,
right?
yeah,
That's a good
if
point.
you weren't fucking listening to me, that's not my problem.
You've known me for quite some time. Yeah, right. I like that, John. That's good. That's better.
Yeah.
Actually, this turned out to be a good joke.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, anyway. What are we doing this time?
Oh,
This is a bonus episode this week. Isn't that right, guys? Yeah, that's right.
No.
This week, surprise, we're not watching Amelie. You can watch this movie, Knives Out, on Amazon Prime if you have it.
And you should.
And you should. There you go. How about that?
Yep.
So let's do, since this is a new one, round robin, quick impressions. Should you watch this movie before we get into spoilers since it's new?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
Everyone should watch this. Every single person on the planet.
It's a really interesting film, man.
Yeah.
I have to say.
And it is a lighthearted, entertaining murder mystery.
Which
Yes.
is great. Because
I
we all
know.
love murder
It's perfect.
for some reason. Yeah. It doesn't make us down. Murder sounds good. It's like, yeah, they're crazy. They're killing people.
Yeah.
You know?
It's great.
I don't understand it. I understand down. I understand sad. I got all that. Yeah, death. We got it. But murders? Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't
I
seen
agree.
this movie yet,
Yeah, it's a yes.
yeah, it came out last year, directed by Rian Johnson. This is the guy who did the second new Star Wars movie, Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
That
The
guy.
Last Jedi.
The
He
Last
wrote
Jedi.
that too.
He wrote it too. Yeah, he writes and directs. He did like Looper. He did Brick.
Yep.
He's a pretty
Because I've heard Brick
He's
is
one of
really
those
good.
guys.
Yeah, Brick is good. But this one, Knives Out. A detective investigates the death of a patriarch of an eccentric, combative family. That's
Yes.
yes. I'm getting worse
Interesting
and worse at
synopsis.
reading in general somehow. Don't know
I
how
know.
that's possible.
It's because you're using digital shit to write on. And you're making chicken scraps.
I'm
You don't
reading
even
this
know
off
how
the
to do it anymore.
IMDb page right now.
I know.
Yeah, but
I know.
you've lost all your fundamentals.
I should just
It's
read
just
it
getting
before
old.
I get on. Just read it once and then know
Just
the
practice.
words because I never see
Yeah.
the word patriarch and I'm like,
I know.
fuck, it's a new one.
You should just
It's a
you
new
need to
one.
go and
Actually,
practice
that's
it.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
Practice it in front of a mirror. In front of a mirror, for no other reason, so Naomi can walk by and roll her eyes.
You know who should do that, though, is just you, because I'm not doing that shit.
No,
You think I know how to read? I never knew how to read, Danny. That's the problem.
it's
I'm
overrated.
making fun of you because I don't even know what it is. B.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Bonus. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
so John,
Yeah, Denny.
you get to go first
I do.
in terms of the review there section. Huh?
Yes.
And
That's right.
yeah, and I want to say up front, I don't know how people listen to these episodes, there is a ton of trivia in this towards the back
really?
end of this episode. Tons.
That's kind of cool.
yeah.
So we'll
And it's
see
all good
everybody
stuff, so-
tomorrow because Danny will just talk and
Exactly.
talk and
Yeah,
which I'm
okay.
totally. I
John
make it
already
sound
warned
bad,
me
but
that
it's
he's
the
more
best.
tired than
It's the
usual.
best.
If you can't tell from his tone of voice
Right.
already,
Hey.
you'll notice
That's all right.
he
I'm more
drops
drunk
off.
than
yeah.
usual, so we're going for more than
nice.
usual. Yeah.
Maybe I should take a big old sip of this thing here and catch up to both of you guys.
Yeah. So
I
Denny,
think that's
yeah.
probably smart.
Yeah. So if I'm really quiet and you're wondering, is John pissed off? Yes, he is.
He's not. He's
He's
mad.
also tired,
He's down.
but
He's
he's
out.
pissed
He's
off.
mad, and he's
Yeah.
pissed.
They're
and
not
he
mutually
hates everything.
exclusive.
Yeah. And God damn it, the kids are screaming. I'll be right back. You know that kind of
That's
shit.
right.
Yep.
Another trivia, Denny. God damn it.
Yeah,
Damn. You know what,
No,
Denny?
no,
You
no,
say
it
the
isn't.
trivia. I'll go handle the kids. Go fuck yourself.
He
I
won't
was
even
kind of
notice.
hoping it would be a short one, because it's relatively new. I did read the Wikipedia. I have like 3 good facts.
Ooh, 3. That's
Oh,
pretty
nice.
good. Higher
Yeah,
than
maybe
normal.
2.
Pretty nice.
That is.
So John can
yeah.
read. John can read.
That's
That's
right.
3 more facts than I have. So
And the ability
You know.
to read. I am behind.
I know. Right. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Fuck you guys. I know pipes. I don't know books. You know.
Yeah. It's they're old.
All right, John. I'll let you go.
What?
Let's do this.
So
Before you go, John,
first-
just one more thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Daddy, I like it. It's like when you have the friend that starts the car and he like pulls forward when you're trying to open the door. You know,
I'm trying to be funny. I don't think John likes it at all. Sorry, John. I can see John's face through the microphone. I can see it.
He's the one in the back that's trying to get in the door, and we're moving forward every time. Me and you are laughing up front. You know, right? Yeah. Go for it, John.
Okay. Good movie. There, done. Really liked it. I think it was just very enjoyable. It was sort of, it managed to be lighthearted. It painted the picture. The whole family was despicable, but not hateful. They were just messed up and kind of pathetic, but also somewhat quirky. So even all the bad people in the film were enjoyable to watch. It wasn't like puppy kicking sorts of things. It just had so many like nice moments of just being funny, quick funny moments that were just be really funny. They just came really fast too. At times where like they'd introduce themselves, you know, like gosh, what was I didn't even take notes or anything. So the guy was like describing his wife, and he's like, "Oh yeah, she's my rock," and it quick cuts to her being startled and throwing her drink over her shoulder, and she's like, "Ah!" It's just really well done. They're playing well. All of these actors are just doing a fantastic job. I think pretty much without exception. I didn't think there was any clunkers there as far as the characters playing themselves, and there was a wide variety. Christopher Plummer was great. Don Johnson was great. I haven't seen him for a while. I don't know if you guys are too old to.
He's one of the guys I did not recognize.
Right, I didn't at first, but I don't know if you guys are too young for the Miami Heat days, you know, or Miami Vice.
Never watched it.
I remember it.
He was one of the main characters there?
He was the main. He was he was Crockett and Tubbs, yeah. So he was
Crockett and Tubbs. Nice.
That's right. Jamie Lee Curtis was great to see. Chris Evans was really good.
Oh, he's hilarious.
As Ransom. He had one of
his best role ever in this movie.
Yeah, he was really good. And he's the guy, for those that may not know, he's Captain America otherwise. But he was so good I just loved his line, and I'll always remember him for that line he has after he tries to stab her and the knife doesn't work, and he just says shit.
Oh, it's so funny.
He's so well delivered.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's like one single word
squeaky,
for him to
squeaky,
deliver.
Squeaky. Shit.
He does it so well. It makes him almost likable as the complete dirtbag, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I love about the film. This makes it really fun to watch because it's kind of dark, but it doesn't go that dark because it almost seems like even the actors are having a really good time doing this.
And they are.
And so hopefully.
Yeah, I think you just, that's so true, John, because I picked that up too. It's like this seemed like a fun thing for everyone.
Yeah.
Not like one of those things where it's like you got to get into a method, you got to get hammered to do the
leave
drugs.
him alone between
get
takes, he'll fucking slap
you know?
you or something.
Right.
I feel like the crew was bursting out laughing constantly during this.
Yeah.
This seemed like a good time, right? And that just translated. Yeah. And Daniel Craig I want to see him in so many other things now. All I remember him lately is Bond. And it's such a serious role. It's so great to see him having a good time like this too.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was and they're going to do
What do you think about his accent?
It was great. I loved it. I don't care if it was accurate, corny. I don't give a shit. It was great. I loved it. I loved how he did it. I loved how I loved it, the way he did his mannerisms and everything. And maybe the context of the movie, you don't take anything too seriously anyway. So you're not like, that doesn't seem authentic or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Like you don't have to. It doesn't matter. It's not real.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just was fun. And so it's just like willing to go along with it. And he looked like he was enjoying himself. And I love the themes even then. So we have all this lightheartedness, but the themes about it really kind of, and again, it mildly does. It doesn't like, it's not be over your head, be like all preachy about it, but it hits a lot of themes right now in terms of racism towards minorities and immigrants. And
one of the best running gags in the movie is when nobody knows where Marta is from. They're like Uruguay, Paraguay.
Right, exactly.
Cuban, just like nobody knows. It doesn't matter to any of them.
And it shows
it's irrelevant where she's from.
Exactly.
Right.
And it shows some of our times, and it shows these are people that would be Trump voters and complete assholes about it. And you just get to sort of see that. And it's another thing I just loved in terms of the way the film works out, where the immigrant gets to be in charge at the end. And just that, oh man, it was so great how at the very end, and they just wrapped the movie up so beautifully. I was so pleased with this because they show that coffee cup very first, one of the first scenes with the guy, which says "My house, my rules," and then you see what she's going to do. She's going to forgive them. She's going to help them out. She's not going to shut them out, but she's going to do it on her terms. And you see her and it says all these things just by her sitting there holding the coffee mug. And it's so good
My
that
house.
they did it that way. I love it. She at the very end, she's holding that coffee mug. That was that was well done. That seemed perfect. Like, that's the perfect way to end it. They're all sitting there outside the house, posed, basically, looking up at her, seeing her with that coffee mug. Man, that is just, I don't know. This is just,
it's so
I'm
satisfying.
Excited.
It's so extremely satisfying.
But it's so, but to do that and not hit you over the head, not be like, see that? Or, I don't know, just not be that blatant about it either. You know, it's like the movie isn't like, aren't we clever? Aren't we funny? It's not doing anything like that. It's just having a good time. So I don't know. I really love it. I think that this is, as far as just kind of,
I think it kind of does that though, John, but I think it does it so well that it's excusable. Because I mean, they kind of like, they say meta kind of things during the movie.
You're right.
Sort of stuff,
they do. But they don't, and part of it is they do it very quickly. So it's not like you linger on stuff too much. But boy, it was just a very good, it was just a great movie to watch and perfect for if you're just wanting to escape into something. And even then, it doesn't feel frivolous either. It has, there's a bit of weight to it because the immigrant stuff and so forth. So it's just, wow, it's just an amazing combo. So yeah, I'm glad we got to watch this one.
Agreed. TC, what do you think?
I mean, it's a star-studded cast that's usually very serious in their roles, right? Like they're just always serious, all of them. I mean, and it was just, it's just, I like I said, I imagine the crew just bursting out laughing all the time because it was just funny.
There was behind the scenes stuff where crew members would ruin takes, but like,
because they couldn't help
laughing.
it. Yeah. They couldn't help it. It's
you could
fucking
hear that
hilarious.
People just like also laughing. They're like, keep it going, keep it rolling. And they just do it again.
Let's see what we can edit out. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, those types of projects are so much fun. It's why I'm sure they got that star-studded cast within a budget because, like, just like everyone else is trying to find a way to relax right now, like, that's how their roles are every time, right? It's serious. It's something they have to really think about and do, and it envelops their soul. And this one was, like, still a good movie, but it was so not serious.
Right.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I'm glad we watched it because after watching fucking Requiem for a Dream, I was ready to fucking end it. You know what I mean? So like, this was just a nice, funny thing is like, I'm with John. I didn't take any notes, and not that I ever do, but I didn't need to really. I mean, it's you can just lose yourself in these fucking movies like this. And I love seeing, actors that can just be different than their normal selves in a project that is so not meant to be serious. Yeah. And it's great.
Christopher Plummer, before I forget, he's like 89. And he is so smart and does that role so well. It's just
he's been eating kale. He's been eating kale for like 40 years out here. He's he's got blood of a god.
But Nikki pointed this out that you don't see the real elderly portrayed this way very often, like sharp and thoughtful as he was.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So I don't know. What do you got, Denny? I got nothing else. So honestly, it was just such a nice, easy movie to watch, and I'm glad we did.
So this is the third time I've seen this movie, so that'll give you an indication of how much I like it. I'd watch this again pretty soon. It's one of those ones that I think you could watch over and over again. You guys hit on a lot of the good stuff. In terms of the acting, I thought some of the best acting was when everybody could do this thing where they were lying to somebody in the movie, and it looked like they were lying and trying not to be caught, but the acting was good, plus it was funny. Right. And a lot of people did that in the movie. And it's like a really specific thing, and it's awesome.
And they put this desperation in it where that they're just like, they're trying really hard and they kind of suck at it, but they're just, and they're all like sort of spoiled children. Like, and that's what sort of sets this up to almost make them sympathetic. Cause like the dad's kind of laying it out, like I really messed these kids up. I didn't really like, make them go out and be independent or whatever. And so they really, all of them portray that together in different ways, but they this sort of like entitled, spoiled, not really sure how to like sort of really take care of themselves. And so they're desperate. They're lying. Oh God, we got to get her. Okay. Well, if she killed him, then we get the money back, right? Okay, we got to let's turn in her mom. Let's do that.
It seems like the best thing to do.
the way that tone, and you're right, Denny, all of them are able to like pull this off, right? And I think it would have really stuck out too if there was somebody, well, just given how good everybody else is doing, but it often happens in these like large ensembles where you see the person who is somebody's cousin or whatever, or there's somebody who is like in very popular movies and they were going to like go toe to toe with these serious actors or whatever. And it just, there's like a clunker and it's very nice that there's nothing like that here.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think too that like at the center of this is Ana de Armas, who is a relative unknown actress, I think, right? She was Joy in Blade Runner 2049. But I
didn't know that she was.
Yeah, she was the robot, the hologram lady in the new Blade Runner. But so she is pretty unknown, and she is the main character of this movie. And she's with everybody else besides her in this movie is famous, individually famous, has like headed a movie before for a long time, for over like most of them like 20 to 30 years they've been movie stars. And she's,
you know what?
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? They've been movie stars for 20, 30 years. Like, let's move out of the way for this one.
But she's in the middle, and she does an awesome job.
No, she does. She's also going to be in the next Bond film with Craig.
Yeah, I saw
No Time to Die. I didn't know that. I was just looking at her IMDb page. I was like, oh, wow.
So
maybe I'll have to watch that one now.
What else? The house and stuff, like the way the movie looks is awesome. The sets and like the weird, just in between scenes, they just go to like close-up shots of weird puppets and shit like that. It kind of just like builds out the attitude of the house really well.
Right, just the weirdness of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And just the way that like the clarity of everything is awesome. Like I love being in the house with them when it's like rainy outside and when it's cold outside and like the fireplace, and just it's nice to be in like a big house because we've been stuck in a small house for a while, and just like watching people in a big house with like tall ceilings and stuff. It's just,
well, and they colored it well. It was warm. It was inviting, right? The saturation was definitely strong in this one. Reds were really red. Greens were really green. It wasn't, a lot of movies these days, they try to mute things to like give you a feeling. This one was like intentionally saturated.
But it didn't look cartoonish.
No, it didn't. But it's because like that, you almost have to do that in the area they shoot in, right? Like it just looks drab and dreary always there.
Yeah.
It's cloudy. It's,
Well, what they did, a lot of the scenes, they got lucky with a lot of the weather because they shot this in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice. No shit.
Yeah.
How about that?
45 minutes
fucking
south of
hotel
Boston.
guy. Oh, no way. Where we doing? We doing Braintree? We doing Rockland? Where we going? No, it's,
the only reason they did that, they had no plans on filming it in Massachusetts, but one of the producers was a set scouter or whatever, scouting locations. And he found this house in Massachusetts, and they made the movie in Massachusetts because this house was so awesome.
Wow.
And they filmed like
cool.
all the rooms, with a few exceptions, were in the actual house. The exterior was really the house. And the house is the reason they hung out so much. Like they put all the trailers very far away. So in between takes, all the actors would just hang out in the basement and play games and like tell stories and shit. So they all became friends and had a great time filming it, which is freaking awesome. You rarely hear about stuff like that where people just get to hang out.
Right. It's just a job usually. This is clearly just a project for fun.
I can think of we've watched is the Grand Budapest Hotel when they were filming like somewhere in Europe and they all stayed in like a hotel together. But that shit typically doesn't happen. Even if you're filming on location, you don't hear about people having fun in the desert for Mad Max Fury Road or anything like that.
Right.
But that's fun. Yeah, I think the music is great. There's almost nothing you can say bad about this movie, right? The music is like really good throughout.
I loved it when the cover kicks in and it's the Stones' Sweet Virginia, and I haven't heard it in a long time.
Yeah, dude, me too. As soon as like you hear that little harmonic, I'm like, I fucking love this song. This movie is so good.
Yeah, and that
I feel
actually,
like the Stones are
like
destined for movies, though, right?
Yeah.
Like so many movies have used them, and they always work.
But it made me go like, oh yeah, man, I haven't listened to Exile on Main Street forever, so I went and like pulled that up again because of this, and it's like, it's great. And that record was made by them just hanging out in a house for a long time.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Oh, a little house parallel there, John. Good job.
See?
Movie about a house, song about a house. Something like that.
He's not that tired, folks. He's not that tired. He's just tired enough.
Oh no, man, I'm heading for the cliff. I tell you.
Yeah, he's on the up, and now he's about to crash.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I get you.
But yeah, I mean, pretty much any individual thing in this movie, the editing, the storytelling, all that stuff is really, really good. I think there are some things I think we should talk about the actual story because I have some questions.
Questions.
Oh, he's got a question.
And I didn't have these questions when I first watched it because like they throw the final explanation at you so fast that, and by the end, like the last portion of it makes a lot of sense. But I think there are some portions of it that don't necessarily make sense. But maybe you guys can correct me, so we can get into that. But those are smaller things.
Yep.
The only thing, and tell me you guys didn't think this, the only thing I could see that's a flaw in the logic of the movie is when Marta vomits in the car into a big gulp, and then Daniel Craig's character comes and sits next to her and doesn't smell the vomit in the car.
Oh.
He would have smelled the vomit, you guys.
I think he
would
may
have smelled the vomit.
He may have, but he just hit it because he knows she's lying to him.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, we've all smelled vomit before, right? You know, what are you going to do? You got to sit there.
It
you got to
stinks,
drive.
dude. You're not hiding vomit.
Oh no, I know you're not. But he's known all along that she's lying to him.
That's a good point. Oh, man. I like that. Nice.
There you go.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because he's
been on her side the entire time.
It's not even worth arguing with you. We all know you just fucking threw up in the cup. I'm not even going to bring it up. You're fucking
right.
Well, he told her that he knew that she was involved because of the blood on her shoe the entire time. So.
Right.
Yeah,
and he also, he could have sat there and tried to grill on her, like, what, you let this guy talk you into a police chase? How did that work? You know, but since she was driving. But anyway.
That is the stupidest car chase that has ever happened.
I know. That's why I love that he came out there and said that.
Yeah.
He said this was, I don't know what he said exactly. He's like, that was the dumbest police chase ever. I loved it.
That happened because he's friends with Edgar Wright, and he was writing the script to this, and he just saw Baby Driver, and he had like good car chase scene written into the script, and he's like, I'm not going to be able to top any of the scenes from that movie. Stupid car chase. Change the script.
I mean, that makes sense.
Opposite direction, yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the other things is why. So I don't know if we're getting into, this is not trivia, but questions now, I guess.
Yes.
Ransom goes and meets. What's her name? The maid,
right,
at the house.
Yes,
in that laundromat.
Right.
Why did that happen?
So I'm too tired of this. He had a plan. Part of it, he was going to frame her.
But how did he know who she was? She had sent him a ransom note that was random. She didn't. Her identity wasn't given to him from that ransom note. How did he figure out it was her?
So he didn't know. But he knew somebody, well, maybe.
So just to be clear, I'm going to find her name.
Vomit was there, you know? It's like, hey, vomit in there. Hey, this is.
Fran is her name.
Wait a minute. Well, he might have not known who it was. But he was going to plan to do away with whoever it was.
No, but didn't he get her to show up at the laundromat?
Right.
So how did he know it was her?
Oh.
Because she sent him a random, blackmail note, right?
Right.
And then he somehow he figures out it's Fran.
No. I don't know if he knew it was Fran because Fran told him where to meet her.
What? Right? So Fran was the one who wanted to meet with Chris Evans, Ransom?
Right.
Why?
Right. I don't know. Like what
that's
she was
also
planning
a terrible.
on doing.
He's fucking huge. And we're talking about murder and stuff here.
Right.
Don't meet in a scary, freaking dark, abandoned laundromat.
Right. So that's the question, I think, is why did Fran want to meet with him? What was she going to do? Right there. Why would she?
She was going to tell him off. That's what she was going to do.
Yeah. So that doesn't make much sense. I think I don't know. I'd have to watch it again and think about that part because it was coming really quick at that point, right?
Yeah.
So it was hard to sort of but his plan to sort of then use this to frame Marta was pretty cool. That's what he was trying to do, sort of on the fly, right?
That was really cool,
right? And then again that it's her willingness to try to be a good person that saves her. That again is really also cool.
Yeah.
But that moment they do that really well. Marta Anna plays that really well, where you see her struggling to make that decision to call the ambulance or not. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what led to her meeting with. God, his name is so strange. Ransom.
Yeah. That's up in the air there. But
I think so.
Also, another question I had is how did Ransom know that there was an antidote to the drug that she would be overdosing the person on, like the morphine? How did he know there was an anti-morphine thing in the medicine bag? He's not a doctor.
No, but he may have dabbled in drugs. Is
that a common
morphine
thing to know? Like the antidote to drugs? Do most drugs have antidotes?
I don't know.
I don't know. Probably not.
But he must have known something about it. I mean, so maybe he went and studied up. Because
maybe
he's
got a chemistry book or something.
Yeah, or a drug book.
Yeah. Fun drugs book.
He's decided that what's going to happen is there's going to be an overdose. I mean, he had to know more about those medications, that there were 2 that could be switched even. How did he even know that, for starters?
Yeah.
So he
and the
must have
bottles
had
are
some
luckily
kind of
the exact same.
Yeah. When you watched it, did you guys guess that right away? That I didn't at all, but Nikki right away was like, oh, they weren't meant to be switched. Like, she didn't really kill him. Like Nikki
really? How?
Like,
no, I didn't guess that at all.
I don't know. I don't know. That makes me feel better.
Because the idea of it is so it's so crazy to get it right.
Right. Yeah. It's so she was just pretty quick on saying that, like, I think she just felt that this wasn't the right setup for the movie, that there was something more to it. And then what would make it more is if the bottles were meant to be switched in the first place, and then that means he wasn't going to die.
Damn.
So
weird.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I was impressed. Yeah, but I was just like, what?
It's one of those things where, like, even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter. That's impressive. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah, it's like, maybe you should start writing screenplays. Right. That's not bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. She's like, no, that's beneath me.
Yes.
I'm too smart for that, actually. As you can see, I just read right through it. I don't need to write screenplays, thanks.
That was the hardest thing that there was to put in the script. Just figuring out how to do that switch, to have it be like a quick plan, but also to be like, to make sense, and to be able to reverse her murder towards the end, make her a good guy sort of thing.
I loved how they did that. I thought, it was pretty cool.
I mean, there's things in this movie too where even like in a mediocre movie, it would make you groan when the revelation of when Fran wakes up and March is like, she didn't say you did this. She said, Hugh did this. It's like, it's hilarious. But if that could have been a super cheesy, stupid turn. You know what I mean?
Right. It could have been, but it works. I mean, it's again, there's like some nice misdirection there. And maybe it helps that his name is so weird as Ransom. And he says that's his middle name, and his name, Ransom, is so freaking weird. You don't even wonder what his first name is.
Yeah.
You don't even think about it, right?
So his name, it's Hugh Ransom Drydstein.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's a lot.
It is. And they say Hugh a few times in the movie, but there's a lot of people in this movie, so it's definitely... Yeah. The first time I watched it, I was like, wait, who's Hugh? Is that the father?
Yeah, okay.
Who the fuck is Hugh? But yeah.
But you're right. It's a good call out, Denny. I would have, in any other movie, I'd have been like, that's lame. But I didn't care. I was like, oh, wow. But it's like, no, they got me, because it really, again, threw the audience, it threw me to the side. If she's accusing her, then you don't put any of the pieces together, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it even harder to figure out what the hell's happening at that point when she's directly accusing her. Wow. Yeah.
And they do the thing too, the first time they show it to you, when she's saying Hugh, she looks accusatory, but when they cut back to that scene where she says Hugh, she looks less accusatory, slightly, but it's like, it's a different shot at a different angle, and it makes her look less accusatory. And they get away with that multiple times in this movie because a lot of the story is being told through individual people's perspectives, which is why sometimes when you go to a flashback, you're getting different information.
Right. You're getting like their take on it, like how they interpreted it, right?
Like when she's like, was it before or after the elephant statue?
Yeah, that was funny.
Before the elephant statue.
Again, it's just these quick moments where he's like, park after the statue. And she's like, and then she parks before. And it just was the comedic timing in this film is really good. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but they just can do a quick sequence of events that results in these really funny moments.
Well, the editing too is awesome because the audio, like the storytelling, doesn't necessarily, I mean, it lines up with what's being shown, but it's not like a scene for scene thing. You have this like overarching audio narrative going on from individual people, and then you see like the cuts of the story are pretty fast most of the time.
Yeah.
They are, actually. Yes, they are. I noticed that. Very fast pace on the edit.
There's a lot of
which is good for me because I lose, attention span.
Flashy screen is best screen. Flashy screen is good.
Yeah. Over here, TC, over here.
Oh, it's red this time. I like it.
Over here, boy.
I like it.
Boy. No, leave Timmy behind. No, don't bring Timmy. I didn't say bring Timmy. Just come here. Just watch the screen. Shut up, watch the screen. Shut up, watch. What did I just fucking tell you? Shut up and watch the fucking screen. Jesus Christ. Fuck you guys. What did I say about Timmy too? Fuck me. Why did I bring you to the movies? That's usually how it goes between the three of us.
All right.
And
I'm losing my mind slowly day after day. What he could do.
I forgot my other factoid. I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
I read from the Wikipedia page. He got the title from the Radiohead song.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
He says, of course, it has nothing to do with the song, but I love the title of the song. So he put it.
Immediately, a lawyer sent a cease and desist.
Yeah, Radiohead is too cool to do that.
He did the same kind of thing for the names of the people. Joni was Joni Mitchell, Neil was Neil Young, Richard was Richard Thompson, Linda was Linda Thompson, Walter was Walter Becker, Donna was Donna Fagan. Wow. Just so he did it so he could remember the characters as he wrote the script.
He's thinking about these musicians in this house.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
But another thing that I agree, the movie comes off as very feel good, but kind of thinking about the movie, the dad is kind of a piece of shit. He raises these kids to be spoiled brats and then removes their lifeline. Like some of these, they're so shitty at life, they might do something drastic and become even worse people than they already are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So that is a good fair point. There's all
the movie paints him though as like a very wise and always correct type of guy, but
no, I thought he was. I like what I liked is it seemed like they were painting it as like this is Marta's influence on him, and that's actually part of why he gives her the money because he's saying like, I did this as you said I should. I did this as you said I should. When he's talking about cutting off the kids, but which maybe means that Marta is not very sympathetic. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's painted as if he's like just come to like some realization about how he's not, he's facing his own death and what his kids are going to be like when he's gone and figuring out that they're just not, they're not going to take care of themselves very well. So maybe he was thinking he'd cut them all off and then, then he would, he'd still help them out, but then also just cutting everybody out of his will. When you think about it, that seems pretty, pretty drastic.
Pretty drastic,
yeah. But maybe he knew that Marta would take care of them in a sensible fashion.
Oh, maybe. Because she's very caring, and he saw that. Oh,
yeah. See,
God.
There you go.
There you go. You're filling in the little tiny cracks, dude.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
And no one's mentioned the grandmother. Whenever the grandmother came up, the great grand, anytime she even just popped on the screen, I fucking burst out laughing.
Oh, they did it so well.
Yeah.
There's so many great lines about like, how old is she? We don't know.
Yeah. It's like, Grandma, are you hungry?
Do you
want to eat?
Yeah.
She's already cleaned out the salmon plate over there. Jesus,
she already ate the entire salmon plate. Yeah, it's just, oh man. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And I don't think you ever see her move. She's always either just standing somewhere staring or sitting and staring.
I don't think we hear her speak.
No, we do.
Oh, maybe goes, one time she said, "Oh, you're back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She laughs at the end.
Yeah.
And then we have to imagine she tells Daniel Craig's character everything.
She does. We don't see that, but you're right. She does laugh at the is it during the will scene or when does she laugh? She laughs.
It's when Marta comes back to confess, but then doesn't confess.
Oh, right.
At the very end, yeah. And the donut hole scene that was almost removed from the script because Rian Johnson was like, "This is stupid," but then Daniel Craig was like, "Dude, I think this is good." So they did a little screen test with him doing it, and he's like, "All right, the way you're doing it is fucking awesome. We're gonna keep it."
It was good. I loved
it. Looked at him, he's like, "Have you ever been to Dunkin's? Come on, it's funny. Everyone knows it's funny." Yeah.
All right, so what do you think? Trivia time?
Trivia time.
Yeah.
I got a bunch. I got to say, this commentary track.
Rapid fire.
This commentary track is one of the best commentary tracks I've listened to in a long time.
Oh, nice.
It was super informative and it was very funny. So if you're a fan of this movie.
Wait, do you own the DVD, I guess?
I do.
You didn't. Okay.
Yeah. It's got Rian Johnson, Noah Segan, who plays the dumber of the two cops. The guy who's like the fan of the mystery novels and stuff.
Yeah, he was fun.
He's in this. And then Steve Yeldon, who was the cinematographer, was the other guy. And these three guys have been friends since they were like late teenage years. Steve Yeldon has worked on every single Rian Johnson movie, including the Star Wars movie. Rian Johnson's cousin is the composer for every Rian Johnson movie except for the Star Wars movie because, you got to get John Williams.
Well, right. Sorry, buddy, but
Yeah. Noah Segan's been in most of his movies.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a little piano. No. Sorry, buddy.
So yeah, it's kind of a weird family unit. He has people that he only works with, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it works.
It's how it works.
It's friggin' good as far as what the product is. So at least
once you get a good creative team, you stick with them because it's working.
Well, especially if this is when you think about this kind of film where what you want to show, at least what comes across in this film, is this really like having a good time with people you really know well vibe.
Right.
You can see how that's something that, yeah.
Radiohead doesn't switch up the band every record. Come on.
That's right. That's true.
That's true. Yeah, but don't most movies, they switch up cinematographers? They're kind of, I mean, everyone's kind of freelance a little bit.
When the guy's a fucking asshole, last film, no one wants to deal with him again. Yeah, they get rid of him.
That's true. So yeah, most of the house was the actual house that you see the outside of. The library set was another mansion that was like a half an hour away, just because while they were scouting, they found another house that from the outside, the other rooms weren't as good, but the library was amazing. So they kind of made it so it seemed like it was in the same house. The rooms that didn't exist were the hallway with the fake trap door window thing. That was a set. And then also the very attic room where they played Go. That was also a set. And they had footage of that set, which is weird because it's a very small room and they have shots of stairs going up to it. It was an elevated set. So it was actually higher off the ground than the room was wide.
Oh,
so it was like a tiny little treehouse they had suspended in the studio.
Wow.
Cool. Weird there. They had to paint out blood in this movie from the neck slicing. There was a lot more blood in the original shot, but they at some point decided to go to PG-13 for the rating.
Oh.
So they had to paint that out to achieve the rating.
I'm glad they did.
Me too.
It didn't need it, right? I mean, yeah.
They had a lot more F-bombs in the other version. The scene where Ransom goes like, eat shit, definitely eat shit. He was just saying "fuck you" instead to everybody. Just as good.
Fuck you might have went better than eat shit. I don't know.
I don't know. Eat shit was pretty funny.
Eat shit was pretty. I liked it. Yeah.
Fuck you just seems like it's so hateful. Fuck you. It's hard to make fuck you be funny. I don't know.
That's fair.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie.
Really?
That's right.
He is?
And he guesses where? You can't see his face, but you can hear his voice. There's no way you'll guess. I'll just tell you. The radio show that Marta's sister is listening to towards the beginning about the murder, the mother yells at her to shut it off because like her employee just got murdered.
That was another really funny scene.
Yeah.
her best friend just murdered himself. Let's be sensitive.
But yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt on the radio there. Ballpark for that guy. They filmed it in the winter and they had 35 days to shoot it and they prayed for no snow because if there was snow, it would have been bad because
added all kinds of inconsistency to the shots.
They would have had to wait to add time to the budget and it wouldn't have worked with people's schedules. Like they were just like, please don't snow. And it didn't, which is rare because you're in Massachusetts in December is when they started.
And it's Massachusetts is weird like that. They have like a season where it like doesn't do shit.
Right.
The next season it dumps.
Remember one summer like 5 years ago, it was like 75 degrees in January. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is this the end of the world? It's never like this.
Right. And then back to 0 in March.
Right.
And you're like, I don't get it.
Doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Rian Johnson, to cast people and to work with people, he just invites them to go get cups of coffee and they end up working on the movies, but they also become his friends. So basically, he's just doing movies so he can have a giant group of friends.
Cool.
And everybody likes him.
Or he's just good at making friends because he's a decent guy.
No, I think that's it too. Like listening to him, he's really smart and he's well organized and he doesn't brag about himself and he's pretty funny. Like he just seems like a really nice guy that's not typical Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
So here's a weird thing. When they're talking about, when they're being interviewed in the beginning, they're talking about what they were doing the night of the murder. And every character in the movie while they're being interviewed, even though they're in the house where the murder happened, they say there in the movie. They're said like, oh, when I was sleeping there, they say it like that. And every character does that, which I didn't notice, but Rian Johnson was just like, it doesn't really make sense in context of what you're talking about, but narratively it works better because people like watching the movie don't know where they are really. And if you're talking about here, it'll be more confusing because there's less separation of time. If you use the word there, there's like a separation of time, which helps you like understand the story better, which is fucking weird. I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you guys didn't, I don't think anybody would notice that, but it is strange.
No, but I'm sure he thought about it and maybe he had it written one way. And he's like, that doesn't sound, and then he just fixed it. And then he thought about it and then he's like, okay, that's better. I don't know why, but maybe that's why. Cool.
So this is starting to get into the crazy amount of special effects that went into this movie. There's a portrait of, what's his name? The Christopher Plummer's character.
So Harlan.
There's a portrait of him.
Harambe.
There's a portrait of him in the main corridor there or whatever it is. You know, it's like in this movie a lot.
Right, and he's got the knife with him there.
Every
Like
single that painting was not completed when they were filming this movie. So they put up a green screen in the picture, and every shot with that picture in it is an effect shot.
Nice.
They digitally put in that painting,
everything,
in every single shot that he's, and it's in like, I don't know, a shit ton of shots at nighttime, during the rain, when there's fire light flickering on it. Like, that's just an insane thing they can do now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's there.
Yep.
And it doesn't, I don't know that was necessarily a big deal even to do it. Like,
it was dude,
this wasn't a high budget movie.
That's in it. Like,
was it?
I don't know. Just think about it. 50 years ago, that type of technology would seem insane and expensive. But now that's cheaper than just finishing a painting quicker.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Well, as far as like inserting something in, having a flat, square is probably the easiest thing.
Probably, yeah.
You're just putting an image there. The image just needs to be the image. It's not an object even, but still, that's pretty cool.
When there's rain in the movie, it's all real. When the sun is out, that's real. They just got lucky and it fit the scenes. Like, they didn't actually have weather planned for a lot of the scenes. There were a couple that required rain, and they actually had the person who played the Great Cran on, what was it called? It was called like Rain Duty or something like that, where she had to get up every single day because it took her 2 hours to put her makeup on to be the old lady. She had to get up at like 3:00 in the morning to call somebody and be like, hey, what's the forecast? Do I have to come in and get made up? Is it raining? They would say no, like most of the time. But she got up just frequently to get up at 3:00 and be like, do I come in? No. And then just go back to sleep. The production designer that worked in this movie also works with Paul Thomas Anderson a lot and Terrence Malick. So he's like a real arty type of production designer guy. The scene where you see the supposed Marta come down the stairs in Harlan's robes, that wasn't Marta. That wasn't Ana de Armas. That was Daniel Craig's stand-in.
Oh. Because
they shot it with her, and it was like, you can tell it's her. She's too small. Like, you can tell it's like a woman, she's pretty small.
I see.
So they're like, that, it gives it away before you're supposed to know that that's her. So.
Okay.
What AI? Huh. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it does.
This is what it sounds like.
Okay.
See if you can understand this. Robot AI finally made to beat Go champion.
Oh, somehow maybe they were talking like Go is a very difficult game for AI to do.
Oh yeah, Go. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
See, I thought it was the robot finally figured out what Tabasco was, and now they can eat. So, two different interpretations.
I taste spicy now.
This doesn't seem like Tapatio. I'm scared. It's not Tapatio. Yeah, that'd be the day Alexa starts talking back to you about the hot sauce. Fuck.
Oh no.
And it's all fucked. Yeah.
They did day for night shots in this movie. Every scene that's nighttime, they would film it in the day, and they had these like bluish gel caps. They would, not caps, but like sheets or inserts they'd put on the glass of the windows. So it would take the sunlight and dip it down and make it look like nighttime. And you can still see through them. Like, if you look at the night shots, you can still see trees and stuff outside, but it looks like nighttime, but it's the middle of the daytime. Pretty crazy. Oh yeah. So this was like somebody's house they filmed it in. And the stash room, that fireplace with like the clock and the weed stash in it, had a bunch of very old and expensive tapestries in it. So whenever they filmed it in that room, the people who owned the house would be in there and made sure that like nobody touched anything. And if you can imagine too, like, this is inside of a house. They had some pretty cool behind the scenes shots. This was like a big crew. This is like not a low budget movie. It was $40 million, but like, there's a lot of people on the crew for this movie, and they were all behind the cameras for all the takes. And you have like, 10, 15 people in terms of actors in front of the camera sometimes. It was cool just to see like everybody crammed and crawling over each other behind the camera. Daniel Craig can't whistle in the scene where he whistles. It's Daniel Craig's bodyguard whistling off camera, and they filmed it live. They filmed it live. They timed it correctly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did the director have Daniel Craig in mind right from the beginning for this role? I mean, did they? I wonder.
That is a good question. They didn't talk about that. They did talk about Ana de Armas. The casting director was the one who brought that up to Rian Johnson. So that wasn't his first thought. Yeah, they didn't really talk about casting too much, at least in the commentary. There was like 3 hours worth of featurettes. I only watched maybe an hour and a half of them, and I skipped the one on casting because that stuff isn't very interesting when it comes to podcast trivia. So
yeah.
Typically.
I just sort of interesting if the role, it's, always interesting if he was writing that role for somebody in mind, but I wouldn't think that you would. I know Daniel Craig's done other things, but all I think of him is Bond lately, the very serious Bond who gets tortured a lot.
That's true. Yeah. So I don't think he thought of anybody specifically for any of the parts from what it sounded like. Did you guys, and I don't know if you even would notice him, but did you know who the will reader was? Who that actor is? It's Frank Oz.
Oh, really?
It's Frank Oz, the Muppet guy, the guy who plays Yoda.
Yeah, I didn't know he's still alive.
He's still alive, and that's him.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, they met on the set. He was doing Yoda for The Last Jedi, and they became friends. And
of course,
he made friends with them, just like he makes friends with fucking everybody.
Asshole.
Yeah, a jerk, super friendly. God damn it. There's a shot in this movie where they do a dolly to a handheld. It's kind of cool. It's when Marta was leaving the house after she won everything, like the will reading, and she's leaving the house because everyone's chasing after her. There's a dolly shot towards her, and then you can see the guy pick the camera up, and then it's handheld the rest of the time. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Pretty sweet.
Huh. Nice.
That restaurant is called the Flat Penny. It's like south of Boston. It's supposed to be pretty good. They said in the commentary track something that we've talked about. If you ever see an actor eating in a movie, feel bad for them. And they felt bad for Anna because that day she ate a lot of beans.
Oh,
oof.
There's a lot of green screen shots. A lot of the pictures are green screened. A lot of the backgrounds are green screened. They paint out the dollies in a lot of shots where like you're looking at a room and there's dolly track on the ground and it's not there in the shot because they painted out. There's just like a ton of stuff like that they point out in the commentary that's just like, man. So that's why this movie looks so good. You can't just like do it without knowing what you're doing, without planning. You have to like, you can't. You're putting a track in the middle and have a plan to like remove it good enough. Like you can't do that and be like, oh, we can't remove the track. It doesn't work. Fuck, the shot's ruined. Right. Every shot in this movie, it seems like they might have learned a lot from the Star Wars stuff in terms of special effects and what you can do, because they're using a lot of weird technology for this movie that's just like in a house. You wouldn't think that you'd be flexing new technology with it, but I guess you'd be wrong.
Oh, yep. Guess so.
That big metal circle all the knives are attached to, it's an industrial barbecue grate.
Huh.
Thing is like 12 feet in diameter. How do you even use that?
Didn't cross my mind.
I mean, can you imagine putting that flat and then putting charcoal underneath it? How would you even like functionally cook stuff on that? It's too big.
It's like, well, like in Lawrence of Arabia, they had one of those.
Yeah, when they were, paid in the desert, we had a big old thing.
Feeding your whole tribe?
Yeah,
wait,
big
was that really in there?
Huge circumference, dude.
Well, I don't know. Remember they had that big old grill?
Surface area, no. Denny. Come on, guys. Come on.
I don't remember that.
Where he was the guy that was the leader of the group, and he was only interested in money. And he was like, he had the cheering and the shouting, and they all had sticks that they had food on. I think they had a big old grill, a circular grill in the middle of that.
Was that a grill?
But now I may be like making it up. But anyway, I don't know.
I know they had big plates of food in that scene, but I can't remember a grill. You might be right,
it's just a big place. I don't know. Anyway.
You might be right.
Anywho.
Next time I watch Lawrence, I will check it out.
Yeah.
I'll report back. Yeah.
The puke was apple cinnamon baby food.
Ugh.
That's good.
Yeah, isn't it?
At least it tastes decent.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you guys notice that at the end, the Don Johnson character in the scene after the scene where you see Jamie Lee Curtis figure out that he's cheating on her, he has a black eye?
Oh, no,
okay.
I didn't notice that.
It's really subtle. It's because Jamie Lee Curtis punched him because she found out about the cheating, but it's extremely subtle and it's CG on there. But if you look for it, he has a black eye. That's supposed to be like closing their loop and that showing you what Jamie Lee Curtis did.
Did you worry, or I wondered at some point if like the husband was cheating with Marta or somebody, because you only see black hair and you don't see the face of the I was just wondering if like I was wondering if at some point like that would figure into the plot, like who the person he was sleeping with was.
I thought Marta was too good of a person to have that even like cross my mind.
That's fair. Yeah.
So John, that hand at the end where it says "My House" on it.
Yeah.
Her hand actually wasn't lined up correctly. And that was an idea they had in the editing room. They didn't know exactly how they were going to end it. They digitally they digitally moved her hand up the cup. So it just said "My House" on it. And they're like, that's good. So that's effect shot.
Awesome. That's awesome.
It doesn't look like an effect shot.
But I also love how Man, they must have. Sounds like. I mean, they workshopped this a ton. They're sitting there going, "What do we do? What do we do? Somebody gets the idea. Okay, she's got the mug, right?
Yeah.
And or maybe they thought, I don't know. Maybe that mug didn't even exist in the first place, or no, they had it.
It did.
They had it in the first place.
So they wanted it
right?
faced out on purpose, but they didn't think of just having my house as being better. So they just wanted to show that she had, because you could still see my house, but in the editing room, you could see like if you had my house and like half of the next sentence, you wouldn't necessarily focus on the my house.
Right.
So they wanted to get rid of everything else.
Yeah.
I see.
Nice. Okay. But they knew that they wanted her to hold that cup at the end. It just didn't look at what they wanted it to look. I gotcha.
Yeah. So listening to these people, Meg, I think her name is Meg, right? The cousin? Yeah, Meg. She has a thick British accent, which was surprising. And Toni Collette has a thick Australian accent, which is super weird because she always plays Americans, right? I've only ever seen her with an American accent, and it's like spot on. Pretty weird.
Huh. It's pretty weird, actually. Like the fact that they can do that is beyond me.
Yeah,
I can't lose my Boston accent.
No.
Even when I'm not thinking about it, it comes out in certain times. It's just more than others. Right?
I mean, I wish I just sounded like somebody that didn't sound annoying. Just baseline. Like these people can sound not annoying in like 3 different
like on purpose
accents. Yeah.
Nice.
Just because say that maybe if you tried, you could.
DC, do you know about aspect ratio specifically? Like if I say 1:8:5 aspect ratio, does that mean anything
to you?
2:40
or yeah.
So they did this one in 1:8:5, which is an older type of aspect ratio. And the reasoning they did that is they wanted to make it look kind of like an older movie.
With a little letterboxing and stuff like that?
Yeah, but also like
devices.
They kept bringing up Casablanca because how they used to do movies, like the ones that were supposedly good back in the day when they had basically a square to project on, is that they would use the bottom half of the screen as like a widescreen movie, and then the top half of it would be just dressing for the bottom half. Like nothing would ever go on the top half of the movie. And we can pay attention to this, I guess, when we watch Casablanca. But apparently it's like split in half where the bottom half of the screen is where the movie's happening. And the top half of the screen is just like where they are. So it makes it seem like a widescreen movie, even though you're watching it on a square.
Oh. It's a trick.
Yeah, it's a trick. And they tried to do that as much as possible on this movie.
Good factoid.
Yeah. And now on cameras, this is the last piece of trivia. Well, actually, two pieces of trivia left. They fought about digital and film before they started shooting this movie. So the cinematographer and Rian Johnson, they've been making movies forever. They started shooting on film. The Star Wars movie was shot half on film, half on digital. And then for this movie, Rian was, gunning for film because he likes film. But the cinematographer now, he was sold on digital. So he really pushed it to have it be shot on digital. He ended up winning.
He's like, dude, I don't know what I'm fucking doing on film. What the fuck's the matter with you? I can do digital. They hired me for digital. What are you doing?
He said like there were 2 things he liked. The nighttime scenes in digital are better, period. Digital things can just pick up nighttime scenes.
You don't have to light
better.
it as much.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't have to light it at all. Like they got away with not lighting it because like, I don't understand what this means, but you find the natural light and then you bring the set to that light as opposed to just, if you're on film, you have to like light everything. You have to like light the outside and it's just a lot harder, I guess. But so that was one thing they knew there was going to be a lot of nighttime shots. But the focus also, he compared it to every movie. He's like, in any movie that's ever been made on film, there are a certain percentage of shots that are out of focus. That is something that cannot be fixed because you don't know if it's totally in focus because you can't see it until the next day. And sometimes you move on. And that happens in every single movie. And he says with digital, you're watching it on the screen exactly how it's going to look. And if you really want to, it's possible to get every single shot perfectly in focus.
Huh. Wow.
That's kind of cool too.
If you try and you know what you're doing.
Right. It's like, it's just, it's possible now because you get feedback immediately.
If you're not a bum and you're not a loser, we can get in perfect focus here.
If you do it in film, did they just transfer it all digitally anyway? I mean, like, otherwise, how do you get all the effects in that you want? Like
you do now.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like all the color correction stuff is still digital, but the medium is film.
Yeah. They have to transfer it over, but the feeling of it, the gradiness and all that other stuff comes from the film. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're coming out with things now, like the cinematographer hired someone to make an algorithm to make all the interior lights make the shot fuzzy like film would. So if you look at the interior light fixtures, when you film it digitally, there's like
Unreal.
It looks like sterile kind of when you film lights, but they made an algorithm to make it look fuzzy like it wouldn't film. So it looks more thematic.
Wow. That's
so they do things like that
cool
too.
Though. I mean, like that's just technology, man.
I know. It's catching up.
Man.
And I like seeing people like this movie looks fantastic, and this guy is a proponent for digital. So that makes me happier, I guess. It's like, film might be going away, but hey, if you can make things like this good and you can fake in the stuff that's good from film,
yeah,
good. That's it. Guys, this movie is almost in the top 250. It's 7.9, 325,000 votes. You need 8.0 to be in the top 250. Would you guys put this in the top 250?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Movie could get bumped up.
Star-studded cast, funny shit, easy going. Come on.
Yeah. And there's going to be a sequel
It's
too,
like
right?
Jared Leto looking at a fucking beach. Imagine some ghost getting his arm cut off, okay? So
it's adventures of this detective, right? That's going to be he's going to have another episode, which is great. I love this. I love him be a recurring character like that.
So it's not going to be anybody else. It's just going to be Daniel Craig and then a whole new cast of celebrities.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know for sure, but yeah, maybe it's like he's the character and he's going to go on to a whole new murder mystery.
Huh. That'd be good. Yeah, he's the only one cast so far.
I would like that. I'd like to see it. I feel like it wrapped up so well. I don't really want to see what happens next.
Not with these people.
Fine.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
I was like, how are they going to make a sequel? Like, this is a closed story here.
But his character and going in to have some other ridiculous adventure that, has a completely different take on it, but it's still solving some murder mystery. That's great.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
true.
And that's what this guy liked, the director, that's what Brick was. And he really loves the murder mystery films.
Looper, murder mystery, time travel one.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So next week, we're going back to the list. We're going to watch Amelie, 2001. Amelie is an innocent. Amelie is an innocent naive girl in Paris.
Wait, go practice this one and re-record it. I just added that in.
Okay, here we go. Amelie is an innocent and naive girl in Paris with her own sense of justice. She decides to help those around her and, along the way, discovers love.
Hey, well
Fucking
done.
A, look at you.
Yeah, I just need one little practice run there, and then we're good to go.
You're ready for third grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking A right, man. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I'm patting the old back there.
That feels really good, actually.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I don't get a lot of positive reinforcement when I'm stuck in the box. That's what I call my house, not the box.
Not from me, that's for sure. Yeah. Hey, you fucking suck. Hey, anyone tell you suck lately? Yeah,
no,
okay.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
I just
thanks.
appreciate the attention.
Bring you back down to earth, you fuckface. You fucking suck at reading, huh? Go back to second grade, guy. No, you're on third grade now. Oh, look at you.
Excellent.
Nah, good job. I'm just fucking around.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I'm bringing it back around.
Yeah.
All right, John, you can go to sleep now. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am very happy.
Nice. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys
actually
next
proud
week.
of myself. I was paying attention
boys.
the whole time.
Fuck you both. Fuck you.
All right, guys. Next week.